Hi, I'm Kelsey, and this is my boyfriend Jared. And 1 year ago today, we were spending our first full day in Kyoto after 30 plus hours of travel from Boston to Istanbul to Tokyo. A lot of people asked about the Fuji shots in part one of the vlog, and Jared and I both bought new Google Pixel 7 Pros for this trip. They have phenomenal cameras. We were both really, really happy with them. I took videos, Jared took photos. We were staying in a renovated Machiya townhouse in Kyoto, and it had a courtyard garden that led into the kitchen, and then to the right of the kitchen was the tatami mat room, which had a window that looked out onto the courtyard. The tatami mat room had this carved transom, I think is the word, over the shoji doors. We could have slept in the tatami mat room on futons, but we elected to sleep upstairs on Western style beds. This room also had a window that looked out onto the courtyard. The bathroom upstairs was absolutely unreal, and I loved the ceiling in the bedroom, and that was the first thing that we saw when we woke up the next day, our first morning in Kyoto. Our intention for this day was to take it easy, so we didn't take much video. Got up, I think we got some coffee, wandered around, took a few pictures. This shrine was so cool, centered around this ginkgo tree. I don't have photos of it, but we stopped at a bakery and got some pastries, and also at a confini and got some Pocari Sweat for me. It was so beautiful there. We just had a lovely time. Jared cried when he ate this burger from Burger Revolutions. He loved it so much that we had to go back the next day. All of this was just in our little neighborhood, all within walking distance, and all discovered just via kind of wandering around. Jared bought some new sunglasses from a man who seemed really nervous that we were in his store. And we went into a little vintage store that I didn't get pictures of, but she wrapped my purchase up so cute. Bought a bunch of buttons and cutesy things. Then this record store called Endless Girl, where I bought a parasol because all the girlies in Kyoto had parasols. And then everyone was also on bicycles, so we figured out how to rent bikes for the week we were in Kyoto through J Cycle, who really hooked us up. They were awesome. All this footage is from when we returned them, though. We found ourselves a yakitori place. I was so jet lagged there that they asked me if I was okay. The food was good, and I was okay. I was just very tired. The next morning was our second full day in Kyoto, and I woke up before Jared and took myself on a little adventure, starting off with a matcha latte from Necktie Coffee, where we ended up going every day. We stayed in the Machiya because it was just right around the corner. Then I went on a bike ride. Riding around the neighborhood was so fun and peaceful, and I felt so safe on the side roads, and even most of the main roads in Kyoto had bike lanes, if not on the actual sidewalk, then on the edge of the road. Most of the bike riding clips don't have good audio, but there are a couple that we might appreciate as field recordings. I made my way to Lawson's and got myself the essential Pocari Sweat. I realized there was a UNIQLO down the street, so there's no not going to that, right? UNIQLO had bike parking, so that was easy, and I was really excited to go in here because I love UNIQLO. I looked at a bunch of stuff. Let me know if you want a longer video about this trip or the whole bike ride. I ended up falling in love with this long black t-shirt dress that was really thick material and felt very easy to wear. I ended up wearing it a lot on this trip, and Jared took this pretty picture of me in it. They had this fancy type of checkout where you just put your basket with your items in this specific area and it automatically knows what's in your basket. I have since seen these at UNIQLO in America, but I thought it was pretty amazing. We walked kind of far away to a ramen place for lunch. It was this type where you like order on a screen and they bring it out to you. That was really fun and delicious. And then we walked home. We had plans to spend the day at the train museum. Very excited to ride our bikes there. It's really close to our Machiya. And in our neighborhood on the way home, we saw this Machiya townhouse being built. And it was really interesting to see the construction. The railway museum was 1,500 yen, and there were 1 million trains inside. That's my estimation. I love trains, so I took a lot of footage. So I am going to let that roll and I will check back with you after the museum.
Is this what they filmed?
They filmed it in like a railway museum.
So probably this.
It could be. I'm not sure it was in this area.
Pull up the video.
Little people. Oh, 3 wheels. Showa. You think it was a train depot?
I think so.
Because it's connected.
Yeah, I also thought I read something like that in the entryway.
방문하신 관람객 여러분께 안내 말씀드립니다. 관내는 전관이
I know, the reflection is not great. But the Shinkansen keeps going by.
Oh, that's fun. This is the 60s.
Please refrain from sitting on the floor or eating or drinking out.
Shinkansen.
Pretty cool triptych.
Yeah. Or quad tipped.
I thought triptychs were forward. That makes sense. It's tri.
No.
That makes sense. I thought that's what like the Marilyn Monroe like Andy
Maybe
Warhol thing?
diptych?
Diptych. That's what it is. Yeah. Well, that's a view.
shots. Oh.
The only time you see people running in America is when they're jogging.
I know, but it does seem like a form of travel in Japan, where people are just it's like I can get there faster if I run.
Just run. Go for it.
Tiny treks.
在入館には入館券が必要です。博物館の入り口で入館券をご提示いただきます。
I bought so many little things at the gift shop at the train museum, like this Shinkansen pencil case and Shinkansen chopsticks. We found one!
And it's marrow and torada.
It's actually one of the best ones, I think. Because it's ours. That's so cool! By the train museum. I was absolutely cheesing. Japan has Pokemon manhole covers, but it's not every manhole cover. So I was really thrilled to have found one, and this ended up being the only one we saw on the trip. We biked back home, and I think we ate grocery store food that night. This picture of a carrot in a plastic bag is making me laugh. In the next video, we are going to Nijo Castle, so stay tuned, and I'll talk to you then.